Hello, everyone. I'm coming at you at 8 in the morning in Omaha. Wednesday, the 4th of December. Cheers. Latest update on my next release is just woke up, got the house open, checked the mail. Delivery is expected on my next CD Monday. They didn't respond to my offer to pay for overnight shipping. So, what I plan to do is this. On Friday, in order to catch Bandcamp Friday, I will post the new version of Sonicity, the 2024 remaster. I'll post it on Friday, including including where you can buy a physical copy, even though I don't have them yet. But in order to hopefully take advantage of Bandcamp Friday, I'll post the new release on Friday, and we can consider those pre-orders. If you buy it on Friday, I don't have it yet. I'll send them out as soon as I get them. It would be nice if they show up early, like on Saturday. That's a possibility, but expected delivery is Monday. So it's on the way. I hope to receive my copy of Deep Entries, the gay compilation. Looking forward to receiving a copy. They have, the label has the tracks from the album online already. You know, like individual tracks you can listen to on YouTube. I'll put a link here for my track so you can hear it, okay? Cheers. And I'll check with the post office today and see if service to Canada is on again. Okay? So this is in mind for all of you, but Rebecca made a comment yesterday. Well, let me look at some comments here, okay? And then I'll show some records. So the first thing up here is someone says, could you elaborate more on seeing Alice in Chains sometime? Well, sure, it's easy. I saw them as they were bottom of the bill on that, whatever they called the tour with the three main metal acts, Anthrax, Megadeth, Slayer, and Alice in Chains was the opener. And, you know, I'm here in Omaha, and at the time, no one knew who they were, so they get the opener treatment. People ignore them, boo them, just don't pay any attention to them. Now, I already had heard Alice in Chains myself, but even if I hadn't, I always go in the present moment to see what's going to happen. They were killing. They came out and they just stomped, and people were dismissive of them. And Lane Staley just basically let them know, you know, you guys are a bunch of idiots. In less than a year, you're all going to be buying our records, so fuck off and shut up. It didn't, you know, it didn't completely work, but it got enough people to pay attention that by the time they ended their set, a lot of the front people in the front were digging it. It's like, oh, duh, you guys are really good. I'll go further and say, for me, the best band that night, or the band that really blew me away, was Megadeth. All the bands were good. Anthrax were fun. They were good. Slayer was kind of like an event, you know. They were just so intense. But Megadeth just played their asses off. They were really good. Someone asked me if did I get any photos or say anything signed by John Coltrane. You got to stop and think about things. I was a child, okay? I told the story. Maybe you didn't hear the story. I was just a little boy, maybe 6 or 7. Okay, and this is the 60s. This is before the advent of the way things are now, the idea of getting a, we didn't even own a camera. We were so poor. Someone asked me about Popol Vuh. I've shown Popol Vuh. They asked me, do I know about Popol Ace from Norway? I sure do. Don't have the records, but I know about them. Froggy Beavers, sure. They're Omaha band. I used to go see them live for free in the parks. And I don't know any of them personally, like friends, but I've had I've rubbed shoulders with those people. And someone said that the song of mine on Deep Entries is wild. I said I'll talk about it tomorrow, so let me do this. I hope to get my copy of the record in the mail today or tomorrow, but I'll go ahead and explain. When Deep Entries, when the people approached me asking to license my track, I was surprised. It's the track that they're using is called This Was Something. It's from my very first EP. This is the second record I made. Norman and the Rockwells was the very first time I made a record. But this is my first release. 1982, people. I've been at this for a while. And that's my older brother's artwork. Notice, it's kind of dark. And this is where things were at. At that time in the 80s, I was listening to everything. I was into Throbbing Gristle, everything at that time, alternative. And so my brother James would always get turned on to music by me. And so he reflected that, knowing that I was into the underground. So what's interesting to me is they call the person from the label who contacted me about using this, says that it's considered a deep synth cut, which I find very flattering because there's no synthesizer on the track. It's made in 1982. It's me and John Tingle. I'm playing all the instruments except for the guitar that John Tingle is playing with a drumstick. So what they count this as a synth track for is because of the fact that I'm using sounds. I'm playing bass, drums, vocals, water in a pan, and a vacuum cleaner, which is what gives it the very strange sounds that it has. Also, this was me. I was way into Joy Division at the time, so on both sides I'm singing low, kind of like someone compared it to Section 25, someone else compared it to Joy Division, and that's exactly what I was doing. And so when I listened, now see, I'll do my poll here in a second, but when the label Deep Entries contacted me about this cut and what they wanted to use it for, I was saying, well, I'm kind of flattered because they wanted the words. They really wanted me to, what were the words? I was just making it up. I had nothing in mind. I'm just making up words. They think I'm singing about somebody. I'll find you. If I could find you. I say that, but mostly it's like, so I can see it in my mind. I see it in my mind. I'm not thinking about a person. I'm making up words. But to them, somebody thinks it's sexy, I guess. I'm flattered, okay? Gives me a whole different perspective on the track. Am I concerned that some people will have their perception of me will change? I don't give a shit about that. People are so shallow anyway. I'm not what people think I am. I'm what I am. And this is part of my life, and you just now find out all of a sudden I'm something different. I don't give a fuck about that. Hope the record arrives today. I only made 150 of these, so this is like I haven't seen a copy of this. I've actually found one in a. Did I? No, that was my other one where I the second one I found a copy in a thrift store and bought it back. This is pretty rare, so I'm chuffed that it's coming out on this 12-inch. I hope it arrives today. Okay, let me sip some more coffee. Excuse me. I did listen to the Nick Drake yesterday. It was wonderful. And I love, there's an early version of, I think the name of the song is Fly, from Brighter Later, which I love that album. Nick Drake. Okay, so what I did was I just pulled some records from one of the cabinets out there, and I didn't look, and I said that would make it fun. So let's see what I pulled, okay? That's what makes this fun, for me and hopefully for you. What did I pull? Here's the first one. Christian Boulay, nonfiction. See, this is fun already. This is the second Christian Boulay album that I bought. He played with Steve Hillage live for a while, toured with him. Guitarist, I believe, from France. I have two of his albums, and the one that I'm most familiar with is the other one. I forget the name of it. This one, good. Can't remember what this is. I think I was a bit disappointed by this one, where it's somewhere in the netherworld of trying to be pop and trying to be progressive at the same time. So there's one, Christian Boulay, nonfiction. See, this is fun. Okay. What's the next one? Because I didn't look. I didn't look as I pulled, because then I would I'd probably put it back. What's the next thing? Blood Rock. Yes. First major concert I'd ever been to was to see these guys. Technically, the first professional rock band I can remember seeing was Sir Douglas Quintet at a teen fun fair. But I won a ticket to this show up the radio. LA Carnival local band opened. It was a mismatch, but back in those days it didn't matter. These guys were really good, and the song DOA, mostly because of my age, because this was the early days. I mean, they hardly even changed the lighting, but they did put on red lights for DOA, and it was eerie. It was powerful. But as a band, I have all their albums. Very good band. Lucky in the Morning, the opener on this album, great opening track. It's a killer's track. Children's Heritage from the second side. That's some of my roots there that are still resonate. Some music from the past is relegated to nostalgia for all of us, right? It's like we really do outgrow it. But that's still. What's the next thing I pulled? What is it? All right. See, I was over in the A's. I didn't even make it to the B's, I don't think. Or the C's or the D's. That's two other cabinets out there. Maybe tomorrow. Perhaps. This is not one of their bigger singles. Billy McKenzie had quite a voice. Gone way too soon. I love the fact that he was a gay, I think, Irishman or Welsh, but that he was tough and he would kick your ass. Don't fuck with me, I'll fucking wipe you out. And apparently that happened at least once at a show. And he just stepped off the stage and whooped somebody's ass and then got back on stage and sang like a bird. I love that. I just really love the reality of life as opposed to people's misperceptions, the ones that are pushed by people who have money and agendas and try to steer people's perceptions, like what's happening with politics, which is why I hate it. Great band, The Associates. I think I pulled at least one or two more. What's this next one? Oh, David Axelrod, Earth Rock. I remember when these first came out, I was Song of Innocence. I always wanted to know, what is that like? What's that like? And then I finally was able to hear it on a compilation. I think that David Axelrod was a contemporary of Quincy Jones, not quite as deep, but that same sort of arranger music expertise where he had, this is good stuff if you've never heard it. And it is topical with lyrics, but the arrangements, using a big band, orchestra at times, this stuff is killer. David Axelrod, Earthrod. Song of Innocence is a cover that I remember from my youth days, seeing it in the record store, thinking, man, that's got to be good. Couldn't afford it. I think there's one more. I'll pull until it's just what was down there. I think we have one more. What is it? What will it be? Beautiful. And he just had a birthday. I invited Richard back on my channel, but I never heard back from him. I think it was amazing that I got Richard Barbieri on here at all. The idea of getting him on for a second time. The master of sound, Richard Barbieri from Japan and Porcupine Tree, Things Buried. These solo albums of his are, okay, this is not a gatefold, his others are. These are excursions that are well worth taking. I took a peek. I see what the last one is that I pulled. There's nothing but gold in these, on these shelves. Music that needs to be heard by more people. Excuse me. I was thinking about the fact that I don't send my records out anymore to try to get them reviewed. And I thought to myself, well, I don't need to. They sell before I get a chance to be reviewed. I'd rather, and I thought about it, how important is getting a review to me? It used to be, and now it's not. It's cool if and when it happens, but it's more important that the music goes directly to someone who wants it. And that I get that direct feedback from the listener that, yeah, we connect with this. Because I'll say it again, that this music is not made, I'm not over here looking for an audience trying to be big and stuff. I'll take it if it comes, but this is a lifesaver. This is my activity, my life activity that is my central focus. I love it. I make this music for me. I do. And you get to hear it. I think that's the last thing that I pulled. Jeff Beck's Truth. So there's several channels on YouTube where people are talking about music, history, and stuff. And so I just recently watched, Shel Talmy just died, the producer from the Kingston other stuff. And because of the time period, you hear stories about these records. Well, I was hearing the story about Beck's Bolero, which was written by Jimmy Page, but it was actually written by both Beck and Page, but Beck didn't get credit for the middle part that he put on it. But anyway, this is back in the early days. Jeff Beck, Truth, Rod Stewart, Ronnie Wood on bass. Pretty bluesy, but again, mainly Beck's Bolero was the thing that when I heard it on the radio, I said, what is that? It was groundbreaking. It's progressive rock. Again, an early progressive rock tune. I see I have one more pull here. Jeff Beck. Seen Jeff Beck twice live. Fantastic. Oh, okay, so this is the last pull, then there's some records from yesterday. I'll go till I'm done. John Blake, Maiden Dance, Gramavision. This is one of the less well-known musicians on Gramavision. Unfortunately, John Blake plays violin. John Blake writes really well. He played with the cream of the crop. On here he has both McCoy Tyner and Kenny Barron on piano. All right? Cecil McBee on bass, all right? The drummer Wilby Fletcher is not a well-known name, but Wilby is good. Haven't played this in quite a while, but this is an example of Gramavision. El Bicho Feo, who does the Cheap Heat videos, just recently did another one about artists associated with Gramavision. And these are records that I think you can still find these cheap, used, because they didn't sell worth a shit. And yet it's high quality stuff. You know, the lowest common denominator and the cheapest, most common crap is the most well-known, most popular. Not to say that all things that are popular don't have quality, but that's part of it, is that it has to be easily digested and consumed, and therefore often very stupid, popular stuff. A couple of records I played yesterday. I played the Einstürzende Neubauten. Really good. Real good. But something else that I pulled, I didn't play the Embryo, but I pulled this. I hadn't played it forever. Family. Old songs, new songs. And the Family to me is an interesting band. I've always liked them, but I've always been intrigued by Roger Chapman's voice. It's like, what is this voice? Like, Peter Gabriel would even try to sing like Roger Chapman on certain passages of old Genesis songs. It sounds like he's being strangled. And it's like, what is this? It seems to be like an English thing. The singer from Comus sings like that too. I've never heard an American person sound like this. This is an interesting band. It's like they'll do things that are kind of like soft shoe shuffle and almost old timey, and then they'll do something really weird. This is an interesting band, Family. I've always liked them. That's what I have to offer today. So, like I said, I'm chomping at the bit, waiting for I can't wait to see how the CD looks, because, again, when I got this, I was so pleased at how good this looks. I said, wow, this would look great as a full 12-inch release. And so I'm looking forward to, because I used another one of my collages for the cover of Sonicity, and then I added some inner artwork, which is new. I mean, so I'm just looking forward to seeing how it came out. Boy, it would be nice if it arrives by Saturday. That's a possibility. But anyway, I'll say it again. Bandcamp Friday is Friday. I won't have the physical CDs then, but I will make public the 2024 remaster of Sonicity on my Bandcamp site, and you can start buying it on Friday if you want to. Okay? Other than that, let's just try to have the best days that we can.